There's about 30% of Canadians who will always support the Conservative stance on things. The Conservatives never dip below 30%. You can actually see this in some polling beyond voting intention. Like, for example, 30% of people disagree with the statement that Poilievre and the Conservatives have a hidden agenda that they won't reveal until after they win the election. What's really interesting about this is that 16% of people are unsure. When you add up the 16 and the 30%, that gets you to the 46% that they have been topping out at, which means that for a lot of people, this election is already decided for them. If you think that Pierre has a hidden agenda, you're in that 54% and you're probably going to vote for a different party. Whereas that unsure 16% is the bunch of people who are fed up with Trudeau and want to see change, and unless they see something that's really scary from Pierre, they're probably going to vote for the Conservatives. Similarly, we see 30% of Canadians thinking that it's a good thing to defund and dismantle the CBC. And just over 30% of Canadians are hopeful or more hopeful than fearful about Pierre Poilievre versus the Liberals, with 46% being fearful of the Conservatives, and only 14% being neutral. And once again, encouraging more privatization of healthcare is good, 27%. At the end of the day, there's really only about 30% of Canadians who are hardcore, true believer Conservatives, which is a higher baseline than all the other parties, probably because there's only one real right-wing party. But what this really means is that if you know somebody in your personal life who's going to be voting for the Conservatives instead of the Liberals or the NDP or the Greens in the upcoming election, they're probably not real supporters or believers in Pierre and the Conservatives, and they're probably actually not happy with the things that they're going to end up doing. But this is a change election, and people are fed up with Trudeau. And that is the real crux of the issue. You're not going to change people's minds by just telling them how bad Pierre will be and by bashing on that person for voting for a party that's not going to be in their best interest. It's just not how human psychology works, even when a large chunk of people who are voting for the Conservatives fundamentally don't agree with their policies.